Good morning, everybody. Please allow me welcome everybody to this segment of the program, the Keynote Address. I would like to start by thanking and appreciating God for a moment like this, for His loving kindness, and for bringing us here together to participate in this year's inaugural Teachers Awards ceremony. Mr. Usoro, the chairman of this occasion, distinguished members of the High Table, Barrister Udominoyo, the former vice chairman of ExxonMobil in Nigeria, the founder and advisor of the Inaugural Foundation. Let me pause for a moment and spin you a yarn. A couple of months ago, I think about June this year, he called me on phone and we spoke for about 8 to 10 minutes. At the end of our discussion, he told me that he would want me to present this keynote address. That's why I'm here, basically. So why do I tell you this story? Number one, because I want to use this opportunity to thank and appreciate him for the invitation and the opportunity to serve as a keynote lecturer. Number two, at the end of this lecture, if you members of this audience enjoyed the presentation, I would love you to join me in thanking him. And number three, and this one is on a lighter note, if at the end of this lecture you don't enjoy the presentation, don't blame him, blame me. As I said, that was on a lighter note. The chairperson, Board of Trustees of Inaugural Foundation, Mrs. Ntekwe Inoyo, members of Board of Trustees, Secretary Josh Akpan, Uto Ukpana, Usen Udo, Edo Ukpon, and Kayode Komolafe. Kayode Okeke, as he is fondly called, is my very good friend. We were in the same university, and he was a year below me in the department. Award committee members, Chairman, Professor Enobong Joshua, Lady Ankan, Joseph Udo, Imo Basi, and Anedi Amos. At this point, I would seek the permission of the chairman to stand on extant protocol. My name is Lawrence Etim. I am a professor in the University of Uyo. I am the keynoter. Before I continue, I have one or two announcements to make. And the first announcement is that anyone interested in having a copy of this lecture should give me his or her email address. I will send a copy to him free of charge. The second announcement is that this lecture will take about 20 minutes or even less. So I solicit for your kind attention. Please enjoy the presentation. The topic of this lecture is education, the most invaluable tool for the development of our children. The organizers of this event expected 50 secondary school students here. So throughout the course of this lecture, I will focus on these secondary school students present here as my primary audience. Because of that, the method and approach that I'm going to use will be simple, very simple. Consequently, there will be no citation of authority, there will be no quotation, and I will not be preaching. Rather, I will be presenting basic facts, and I will be teaching using well-illustrated and highly animated PowerPoint slides, since my primary audience are these secondary school kids present here. I would love to start by noting that in a conference or public speaking engagement like this, we often focus on the contribution of education to our national economic development. But in this very lecture, my focus will not be directly on the contribution of education to the development of our country. Rather, I will focus on the contribution of education to the development of our kids. In simple terms, I will answer the question, what is the benefit of education to you, the students? Why should you go to school? And having gone to school, why should you take your studies seriously? To parents, this lecture will address in a practical way the need for them to invest in the education of their kids. Sensitizing parents on the importance of sending their wards to school is of overriding importance, especially in northern Nigeria, where the rate of school dropout continues to be alarming and appalling, and the army of Almajiris, that is street kids, is ever burgeoning. Winners of the inaugural Teachers Awards are always given cash prizes, plaques, and certificates. Since 2007, when the scheme was inaugurated, about 1,500 teachers have won various awards and smiled home with cash prizes. Each of the 6 teachers who wins the Grand Mentor Prize in any of the 6 different subject areas will normally smile home with a whopping 500,000 naira prize money. Similarly, the winner of the Best Principal Award normally goes home with 500,000 naira also. There's a cash prize for each of the many runners-up. Every winner is also given a plaque or a certificate. From 2007 to this moment, the foundation has spent more than 500 million naira, that is more than $500 million naira for these awards. Obviously, it is clear that apart from government, Inoyotoro Foundation stands out as one of the greatest contributors to educational development in Nigeria. So at this point, my question is, why does the Inoyotoro Foundation invest so much in education? Your parents too have spent a lot of money to sponsor you to school. Of what use is such expenditure, and what are the expectations? The Akwa Ibom state government allocated 7 billion naira to education in 2022 budget. During the same period, the federal government allocated about 1.3 trillion naira to education. And I want to pause and ask again, what are the benefits of this investment to you, the students? To your parents, your village, and community. Now, I will pause again for a moment or two and ask the question, what is education? I would also want you, members of the audience, to take a few seconds and think of the answer to this question. To me, education is nothing but the enlightenment of the mind. We need to know what education is and its benefits, because if we don't know the use, abuse is inevitable. With that working definition of education in mind, I will now take a conspicuous look at the benefits of education to you, the students. The first benefit of education that I'm going to consider is that education gives you the opportunity to earn a higher income. An educated person is more likely to get a good and better paying job than an uneducated person. Even if it comes to self-employment, an educated person is more likely to create a better paying job for himself or herself than an uneducated person. The second benefit of education is that education gives you a happy and stable life. Do you want a happy life? Do you want to enjoy the good things of life like fine cars, nice houses? Then you need a good education first. Or you want a great job, or a good social status and reputation. If you need all the good things of life, then you should get a good education first, and all those good things will be accessible to you. Remember, I said all those good things will be accessible to you. I did not say that all those good things will be added or given to you, no. The third benefit of education is that education gives you self-confidence. Once you are self-confident, then the sky is your limit. Marcus Garvey is quoted to have said that if you have no confidence in yourself, you are twice defeated in the race of life. But with confidence, you've won even before you started. The fourth benefit of education is that education turns your dreams into reality. What are your dreams, if I may ask? Do you want to become a rich, popular, and a well-respected person? Then get a good education first. Or you want to be a doctor, a nurse, an engineer, or a scientist? You need a good education. You might even want to be a pilot. Then remember Air Marshal Nzika had worked as an Air Force pilot. Or you want to be a banker. Then remember Governor Udom Emmanuel, or the Honorable Commissioner for Finance, Mr. Linus Gang. Both of them are bankers. Or you want to be a lawyer and a successful international oil company executive like our Barrister Udom Inoyo. You might even want to be a university professor like yours truly standing here. Then you need a good education first. Even if you want to be a Nollywood star, like students, do you know her? Yes. Who is this? Very fine. Where did she go to secondary school? Where? CCC, Cornelia Corneli College. After that, she went to UNIU, the former Unicross, where she studied English there. Students, you know her? Who is she? Nzegbe Etim attended University of Calabar, where she studied theater arts there. And you know him? Who is he? And who is he? Kanayo. They are all Nollywood stars. They are all incredibly very popular. Even if you want to combine, even if you want to be more popular than all of them combined together, my advice is get your education first. Or you want to be a Niger pop star, like Davido, you know him. You know him. Do you know the university I attended? Babcock University. Clap for yourself. And who is this? Wizkid. And you know her? What's her name? Tiwa Savage. Tiwa attended Kent University in England, where she studied accounting there. She also holds a degree in music from the Berklee College of Music in the United States of America. All of them are very rich. They are extremely popular. Do you want to be as popular as any one of them? Get your education first. Or you want to be an American rock star, come international superstar like, you know her? Who is she? Beyonce, clap for yourself. And Rihanna, and Justin Bieber. Very good. They are extremely very rich, extremely very popular. Get your education first, even if you want to be as popular as any one of them. Or you want to be an international minister of the gospel and televangelist like, you know him? What is his name? Papa Oyedepo. He attended Kwara Polytechnic, where he studied architecture there. Oyedepo is reputed to be the richest pastor in Africa, if not the world. Do you want to be as rich as him? Get your education first. And who is this? Oyakilome, Pastor Chris. And you know that he attended Ambrose Lee University. Incidentally, the same thing Oyedepo studied, architecture, is what he studied. And who is this? Joyce Meyer. Would you want to be as rich as any one of them? Get your education first. Or you want to be the richest man in Africa or in the world, or one of the most powerful politicians in the world? Who is this? Aliko Dangote. Dangote attended University of Cairo in Egypt. He studied business administration there. And who is this? Elon Musk. He's reputed to be the richest man in the world presently. Elon Musk has invented many things. One of them is electric car he called Tesla. Elon Musk also created a car that can drive itself. The car can drive itself from Uyo to Enugu to Lagos to Abuja and back to Uyo without any driver there. So because of that, the car is called autonomous car, driverless car, or self-driving car. That, among other things, makes him so rich. And who is this? Barack Obama. Clap for yourself. I hope you know that Barack Obama attended Harvard University, where he studied law there. Only 4 Nigerian women have private jets. They are Mrs. Alakija, Mrs. Alison Madweke, Mrs. Bola Shagaya, and Mrs. Danjuma. I want to tell you a few things about these women. Number 1, they are all married. And number 2, they are all educated. So, turning to you, young secondary school girls present here, I want to ask you, when you grow up as a woman, would you want to have your own private airplane? If your answer is yes, then you need to be serious with your education now. The advisor of the Inoyo Toro Foundation, Barrister Udom Inoyo, inaugurated this Teachers Award scheme to encourage excellence in your teachers. Barrister Inoyo did that because he wants you to capture the benefits of his investment in education. The 5th benefit of education is that education gives you a long and healthy life. If you are educated, you'll have a better chance of taking good care of yourself. You'll be able to afford good food. You'll have money to consult good doctors in Nigeria or even abroad. You live in a good environment. All this will make you live a long and healthy life. Additionally, children of educated mothers have a better chance of living a healthy life as they are more likely to be vaccinated and less likely to be stunted from malnutrition. Small family sizes. Educated couples are more likely to have small family sizes. Having a small family size implies that couples will be able to care for their kids, also train and educate them. Small family sizes also imply that population explosion will be averted and pressure on resources will be reduced. Education reduces the chances of child marriage. The frequency of occurrence of child marriage is high in uneducated communities in developing countries. Education can reduce the prevalence of this harmful practice of child marriage. Each year in secondary school reduces the likelihood of early marriage by about 5%. So completing secondary education will postpone a girl's early marriage. Education reduces gender-based violence. The occurrence of gender-based violence and domestic violence is less among educated people than among uneducated people. Education helps you know your right. An educated person will know his rights and he will be able to fight and protect his rights. Education helps you to become a useful member of the society. Education will help you understand the problems of your community and it will empower you to solve these problems. By so doing, education helps you to contribute to the development of your society. And you become a useful and an invaluable member of your community. Education promotes equality. The best way to eradicate or rather reduce poverty and by so doing remove inequality from the society is to educate the poor. Whether you are from a poor or rich family, if you pursue your education successfully, you'll be able to go back and help your family and community members out of poverty. Just exactly what Barrister Udom Inoyo has been doing through Inoyo Toro Teachers Award Scheme. Equal access to education will ensure that there are equal opportunities for all persons irrespective of race, religion, gender, and social status. Education discourages crime. Education confers a sense of right and wrong on the individual. An educated person will resist the urge to go into violent crime. Poor and uneducated people are the most vulnerable. In desperation, a poor, uneducated person may turn to violent crime like armed robbery. Education engenders economic growth of a country. Education contributes directly to the economic growth of a country. Take, for example, Canada, Japan, Germany, UK, and United States of America. All these are advanced countries, and all these advanced countries have very high literacy rates. That is, almost everyone is educated. All these countries are very prosperous. Citizens have high per capita income. That is, citizens have a lot of money. The converse of this observation is also true, namely that countries with low educational level are poor and underdeveloped. Many citizens in such countries live below poverty line. That is, they could hardly feed themselves. So education is a strategic tool for the progress of individuals and economic prosperity of a nation. Advancement of civilization through technological development. There is no technology which is not a product of education. Take, for example, industrial manufacturing, oil exploration, road construction, aviation, health and biomedical services, communication, TV, radio, phones, etc. All these and more are products of education. Education rids you of superstitious beliefs. Education will help you to understand the world from objective viewpoints and scientific standpoint. Take, for example, the occurrence of rainbow in the sky. If you see a rainbow, you will not believe or think like many uneducated people in the village that it is witches and wizards which are parading in the sky. You will remember from your physics lecture that a rainbow is caused by the refraction of sun rays within the raindrops. Similarly, you know from your biology lesson that Malaria is not caused by evil spirits, but by plasmodium parasites, which are transmitted into the blood in your body during mosquito bites. Literacy. The ability to read or write is called literacy. This ability is one of the most important benefits of education. Imagine that you are not educated. That is, you've not gone to primary school, you've not gone to secondary school, and you are not educated at all. But for one reason or the other, you find yourself in this room. Few things will happen. Number one, you will not even be able to understand the kind of English we speak here. Number two, because of that, you will not be able to communicate with anyone. So, literacy gives you the ability to understand, evaluate, and communicate. Numeracy. The ability to count and calculate is called numeracy. This ability is gotten from the study of mathematics. That makes mathematics a most important subject in school. A pastor here in Uyo once illustrated the importance of mathematics to students in his congregation. To me, his illustration was very elegant. He said that when he was a student, he used to run away from mathematics class. He didn't like mathematics. But when he grew up, he knew that mathematics is one of the most important subjects in school. Why? Because according to the pastor, mathematics is the only subject that will help you count your money in the bank when you grow up. So, turning to you students present here, I encourage you and I implore you to like mathematics, if not for anything, but for the very fact that when you grow up, it is the only subject that will help you count your money in the bank. At this juncture, I would love to appreciate the Etim Foundation for harnessing education as a strategic and invaluable tool in developing Akwa Ibom kids. During the past 20 minutes or so, I had defined what education is. I told you about the investment made by Etim Foundation in your educational development. I also mentioned the contributions of other stakeholders, example, federal government, state government, and your parents to your education. I listed and I explained 17 different benefits of education to you as individuals. I emphasized the point that education is necessary for your personal development and success in life. I gave several examples of educated and successful individuals in many countries of the world and from different walks of life. By so doing, I demonstrated in a most direct way the importance and role of education in contributing to the success of individuals. Over and above this, I told you and I emphasized the need for you to be serious with your education because it's a key to your success in life. While I told all these things to these students, you, all members of this audience listening to me attentively, I'm very proud of all of you, esteemed members of my audience. I appreciate you. Now, only one thing remains for me to tell you, and that is, thanks for listening.